You know what time it is. You're listening to the Urban Sports Scene. I'm Wole and I'm joined by my co-host, Ray Jeezy. What's going on, Ray?
Brother, I just finished watching the Netflix series Receiver. Did you watch it?
No, what's that? No.
It's basically like the quarterback one last year where they had like Mahomes, Mariota, and they had Kirk Cousins. They featured Debo. Who else? They featured George Kittle, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then the last person was Devontae Adams. But in watching that special, I suggest you watch it if you got Netflix or you use somebody else. But if you can watch it, I would recommend it because you kind of get to see how important Debo was. And I crossed over to the Wole side of things. Like, okay, Ayuk didn't need to come to Washington. Maybe he wasn't as impactful as I thought. His numbers stayed different, but at the same time, when Debo was out,
they lost some games. They
lost like 3 in a row.
Exactly. That's why
I was like, okay, now we're Wole. So
yeah, I've been saying that's in terms of the whole who's better, Debo or Ayuk. Like that was my argument. Like Debo is way more valuable because they lost a bunch of games when he was out. If Ayuk could miss games, the most important player was Debo between the two.
I saw some people upset though that the Commanders weren't in the running to
they just pissed,
try to acquire him anymore. So
yeah,
thought it was interesting. But I'm like, okay, I'm with Wole now. After I watched the special, you saw how important Debo was to the offense. I said, yeah, he put up good numbers, but he was playing around a bunch of talent, including CMC, of course.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. I'm with Wole.
Yeah. Thank you, bro. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, bro.
I wasn't against you. I just was listening.
No, not you. It's just that everybody get overly hyped with it. Like I'm like, if you look at even Niner fans knew it though. You know what I'm saying? Like Niner fans know what time it is. Debo was the more valuable player.
Yeah, he asked him for $32 million a year. So I don't know if it's worth it, brother, taking that risk to bring over a receiver that hasn't proven to be a number one yet. Although the experts think he really is that dude, but we'll have to see. Kyle, of course, doesn't see the value when they put him on the block. And Kyle is one of the best offensive minds, so I'm gonna trust him more. But I didn't mean to bring up Ayuk. I know that was a past show. I'm just telling you, I kind of did some background research and watching that special, and as a result, here I am, bro. I'm with you on that one. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's tough though. He's tough.
I ain't saying he's not tough. I'm just saying like we all have like folks gotta know what time it is, bro. That's all.
Do your thing though, bro.
You know what I'm saying? My I don't know why the Instagram junk ain't working. I thought I did it right.
Here we go. Here we go. Come on.
No, because I set it up before I left. Yo.
Hey, Eric Jessup, what's good with you, brother? He said Ayuk is a cute story, but no need for Commanders to lose their mind. I agree with that one. That's perfect. Can we just leave this up for a while? Man. Can we leave this comment there for a while?
I got it now, good. Yeah, it's up. We're back on live. We're on IG now. Touchdown, Indy face, touchdown. I'm ignorant. I'm sorry. I'm ignorant. I don't care.
Hey, Cam, you see I got my Wizards ball right here, bro. This Six Flags right here, bro. You know you shoot that thing, you make it, you get gifts. I got stuffed animals everywhere, bro. I still got that J. What's up, George?
Hey, you know what? I didn't even mention our website, so I feel like I've been all over the place. Anyway, you can check us out at www.urbansportscene.com. You can also check us out on Empire Media, which is empiremedia.com. We got a lot of our content on there as well. Subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. Also, make sure if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm seeing that we got some YouTube folks on there. And if you're not following us or subscribe to us, make sure you subscribe to our Urban Sports Scene YouTube channel.
And hit us up on X at Urban Sports Scene. Also IG, which we're live right now on IG. Thanks to
we are live. We're live.
IG at Urban Sports Scene. Also, check out our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page, bro.
All right. Also, join our Urban Sports Scene Facebook group. Search Urban Sports Scene, sports bloggers, sports podcasters, and sports debates. All right. Let's get into our tradition, the pregame. Here's what we have on tap. We are going to talk about the Washington Commanders' unofficial depth chart and their upcoming preseason game against the New York Jets. We will be joined by hosts of the Breaking Command podcast, DH and Dee-Middy, to discuss all of this. So let's introduce the fellas. I can see them on the
merch. Let us know too.
Let's introduce the fellas. First, let's introduce DH. What's going on, homie?
What's up, everybody, man? I'm just out here trying to get paid like Ayuk, a number two trying to get paid.
All right, let me introduce the other homie, Dee-Middy. What's good? Hey, yeah. So I'm saying short and to the point, man. My man here gave us the deuces. You know what I'm saying? He know what time it is. All right, man. Hey, what's going on, Eric? What's up, Dujanay? What's going on, homie?
All right, hey, fellas, what's good with y'all, man? Hey, DH, it's been a minute. Dee-Middy was good. Good to meet you. And it's time to get started with the depth chart discussion because the depth chart came out, and I don't know how y'all brothers feel about it. I'm not a Commanders fan, thank God, so I don't have no feelings at all. But I want to get yours because it's important, especially Jaden Daniels. He was listed number 1. Nobody thought Mariota was going to be that number 1 quarterback. However, Jaden Daniels said he would take a back seat if needed. What was your guys' thoughts on the depth chart? I guess, DH, we can start with you, brother. So you try and get paid. Let's do it.
On the offensive side, start with the offensive side too, bro. Start with the offensive side.
For sure, man. I think, first of all, it goes back to how pretty much every coach in the league is lying to you in the offseason because Dan Quinn got out in front on the podium and said, Mariota's going to start. It's going to be, Jaden's going to be battling, you know what I mean? And then it took, 10 practices, and now, Jaden's the guy essentially for the most part. I mean, he basically they basically put out what we knew he was going to be the starter. I guess they was just trying to keep a fire lit on him. Didn't want him to give it anything. He kind of wants to earn his stuff anyway. I think the interesting point to the depth chart is that it's 11 personnel, so it might be a sneak peek of what we going to primarily be in most time with 3 wide receivers on the field, one back in the backfield. Not your traditional 2-back set most times. So I think that the key thing for me was the 11 personnel starting out on the offensive side of the ball. And then, I mean, the other thing that I was kind of not concerned about, but the thing that I wasn't, maybe shocked a little bit, Luke McCaffrey already being listed as the 3rd receiver, somebody that just got there as a rookie. What does that say for the guys behind him? I got Diami, who's currently listed at the bottom. Then you got guys like Zacchaeus, who's listed higher up on the depth chart. You know what I mean? So they're saying it's unofficial. They're saying don't look too much into it. But this gives you a lot to kind of parse and kind of figure out where guys are this point up into training camp.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Diami's that far down. I mean, he's behind Terry, right? So they're not gonna put him in the slot. This is the argument I said before. I do think it's a lot of time, but I do think that, in my opinion, like Terry, you're not gonna list Terry like in the slot. You're not gonna list Jahan in the slot. You're gonna list him outside. So I do feel like in a lot of situations, like we and DH and Dee-Middy, we talked about this before, that you can easily have those 2 individuals playing the slot. One of those two dudes playing the slot, and then have Diami on the outside, which changes the game, right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like, that's why I didn't take, in terms of receivers, I didn't take it serious because you're not going to list Diami in the slot. That's not going to happen. You're not going to list Terry in the slot. That's not going to happen. You're not going to list McLaurin Jahan in the slot. It's not going to happen. So if you go 3 set, Terry and Jahan could play both. So then you can have your best weapons out there. So the receiver situation didn't really stand out to me, but I do get it. Like, I understand how fans are looking at it. Like, all right, you have, how you say his name? I'm going to mess the dude's name with the Z. I'm calling him Z. I'm going to call him Z. I ain't going to hold you.
Olamide Zacchaeus?
He's not Olamide, I can say, because he's Nigerian. That's a Nigerian name. I'm going to call him Olamide. So Olamide is Olamide. That's all I messed up. It's Olamide. That's what I'm going to call him. Olamide, I'm going to call him that. Like him being in the slot, I get it. Like, but also I heard, again, that's why I like to listen to people I trust. I heard he's having a tremendous camp though. I have heard that though.
Former Falcon right there, brother. He actually caught a big pass against the Commanders, and it was a stalled drive. You remember? Because what was it? Deron Payne got his hand on that ball at the end of that game. But Zacchaeus made that big catch to get the Falcons in position to score. He played in Philly last year. Solid receiver. I don't think he's going to be starting slot, though, if you ask me. I'm kind of agreeing with you because Terry is so versatile. Jahan is versatile. So I'm with you on that one, definitely.
So what about you, Dee-Middy? Did I lose Dee-Middy? Is he frozen? I feel like I'm not sure he's frozen.
He's frozen in time. But
my man Cam Mingo asked the same thing. No, he asked about Olamide Zacchaeus. Just who I explained. He can be solid. He's somebody who he's durable. He doesn't get injured. And then we got another comment. Y'all can address this. It's from Eric.
Yeah.
He said rookie LT, I like Coleman until the first sack allowed. Laugh out loud.
What about you? All right, what about that? DH, you surprised that Coleman is listed as the left tackle?
Yes, I was going to mention Coleman, and then I was going to mention Ben Sinnott being the backup to Zach Ertz already. But Coleman, I mean, look, I think we all kind of riding with, Peters with their decision making to this point. He wasn't a left tackle. He was a right tackle. You know what I mean? It seems like they're putting him in a position that he may not be used to playing. And with your number 2 overall quarterback, in a rookie left tackle who hadn't played left tackle before, it's kind of tough. But I mean, I was looking at ESPN today. They were talking about his body style and his body type, how he's very similar to one Trent Williams.
Don't do that.
They don't. That's what they said.
Not you. Talk about them. Talk about not you. Just talk about them. They got to stop doing that.
That's why I like when we record at the end of the day, because I can take everything that everybody said and repurpose it on here. But I mean, we just need to see if he had that dog in him. Okay, so the comments say he played it in college. Cool. All right, but this is the pros, baby. It's a different game. Left tackle, in the league is make or break. You got the top end guys like Trent Williams, and then you got the lower end guys like pretty much everybody that we've had here in the past few years. So I'm hoping that it's a great move by the front office. They're able to kind of make it happen. We'll see, but I'm excited to see it, man. I think that'll be a real big thing for the squad if he turns out to be a great left tackle here.
What Dee-Middy was good, bro. Like, what do you think about Coleman at left tackle?
Man, I was high. I wouldn't say high on Coleman, but I felt like he was gonna be a good plug and play kind of guy because of his athleticism. Now, Fred Smoot was one of those guys that was talking about Coleman being a Trent Williams type too. So he also was high on Coleman as well.
Congratulations, Freddie.
You don't like the comparison, Wole?
No, I don't.
Fred be saying a lot, man. Fred be saying a lot. Well, I think he might be the size of Trent Williams.
Well, see, that's why you gotta take it with a grain of salt, man. When it comes from him, he's excited about everybody, literally. He always like that. He said St. Jude's. He compared him to like Chan Bailey one time. So,
did he for real?
Not in terms of him being as good as Chan Bailey, but he threw out the name like he could reach that ceiling. Basically, I was like, man, this dude crazy.
God bless his soul, man. God bless his soul.
He trying to keep his job. That's all it is. You already know what Fred Smoot is all about. Hey, yo. My man G like the impersonation. DH.
My man Paul. All right. Eric has a question. Says, what has DH said? Is this a roster or just a preseason depth chart? It's unofficial. That's what he said. It's an unofficial depth chart. It's about competition. This is who he feels within camp. These are the guys who have kind of showed out. But I'm like, all right. So you, DH, you did mention Ben Sinnott, and I do respect if DQ is saying so and so is having the best camp, then that's why they're slotted in that situation. But you can make the argument that Ben Simmons' camp for what I've heard, hasn't been like the best camp. And he's listed as I believe the third tight end, because you had Bates is the second because he's the blocking tight end, but he's the third tight end.
Well, I'm looking at on ESPN. What is it? Hold on, let's see.
I'm on Washington's site.
ESPN has something posted different. ESPN has.
So the Washington's website, unless they changed it, they have him as the second. They have him as the second list. They have Bates as the second listed tight end.
Okay. Well, I guess it's not. I guess it's a moot point then. Because
still, even that third, to be honest with you. But go ahead though. But even so.
I mean, if we look at it where he's at now, listed on the site, on the screen, what does it say for Cole Turner? Somebody who's in a breakup, I believe. I think Cole Turner has to have the preseason of his entire life and has to play unconscious to keep a spot on this squad. I mean, they cut out Monty Rogers, so that it looks good for maybe they maybe keep him forward, but still, man, you can't get on the roster by the skin of your teeth, man. This front office has shown that look, if there's a better piece out there, they will find it and they will try to put them in the mix. So just because you're here, just because you're the last man that might squeak in, that doesn't mean you're safe. I just think he needs to perform, and he needs to perform well. He has the prototypical size that he's been often injured, but if he can stay healthy and kind of get in this offense, I think him and Ben Sinnott going forward down the road, because we're exactly a long-term solution. But I think those two, I mean, they could be a nice 1-2 punch up the middle of the field for Jaden Daniels, who will be proven to need a good tight end to stay upright in this offense and to keep everything moving downfield. So I just think that the matchup really for me is between that third and the fourth tight end between Ben Sinnott and Cole Turner. Hopefully Cole can, like I said, had a preseason of his life and prove that he can be on this squad for this upcoming season.
Yeah. Dee-Middy, your thoughts on where Ben Sinnott is slated here on the Commanders depth chart to have him at 3? Is that a good spot for him? Do you think that's the right place he should be at?
Get in there, make some noise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
go ahead.
You know, I love to see Ben. I love to see Ben Sinnott move around a lot because he's a very versatile player as far as blocking, as far as catching. I feel like if they,
I think I lost him. I think I lost D. All right, but yeah, I agree. I think there's a comment from Paul. Paul said,
so like a Chris Cooley type. Paul,
yeah, like Chris Cooley. Yeah, that's his role. It's like something his role. Ben would be more of an H, but yeah, that's what he's supposed to be, more of an H back.
In that case, he'll be a Ring of Famer up here because you know how these offenses. I mean, Cooley is at the top of a lot of our tight end categories, and I mean, in the way he's played. So I think if that's the case, and they plan on using him like that, he'll be a key part of this offense.
Hey, DH, how much did you like Cooley, DH? Like, where you put him at in terms of like all-time Washington football players? Because I'm not gonna say he's got the Lee Del Echols like fan favorite thing with him, but at the same time, he was good.
He was a Pro Bowl caliber. Don't do that to he was a Pro Bowler.
No, he was a fan favorite too, though. He was
okay. So you said because Lee Del Echols wasn't a Pro Bowl, wasn't an All-Star. So I'm like, don't do that. You gotta say Michael Adams or something. Like that's better. Like
okay, Michael Adams. There we go. Michael Adams made an All-Star game.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I like Chris Cooley. He was a bit undersized. But Chris Cooley could catch the ball. He was tough over the middle, could find space, and could make the plays. And he was a Pro Bowl guy. I mean, he was a guy mentioned around the league. I mean, he was in NFL fantasy commercials. Like the league knew him. Like people knew who he was. Yeah. So I thought he was a very solid player for us. I didn't like the way that it ended. I guess he still thought he had a few more years, and the team didn't, and he didn't play anybody with anyone else. So I guess that was it. But I think Cooley was a good piece to the squad that we had, in some down years. He was one of the good offensive pieces that we had.
Now, if Ben Sinnott can match his work ethic, I think it'll be amazing because that's one thing that we couldn't question about Chris Cooley. He wasn't the fastest dude in the world, but he got open.
Man, and he was hard to bring down too.
Jason Witten was slower than Cooley though, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, Witten was much slower than Cooley.
Yeah. But he knew how to get to the ball. He knew how to make plays. I like Cooley. I did like Cooley. But he was a fan favorite though. Well, like people,
he was definitely a fan favorite.
A biased opinion, including yourself, about Chris Cooley.
No, Chris Cooley was. Yeah, I'm biased. Like Chris Cooley was like that. I don't care what
I know you are.
Like that. Chris Cooley, and he was tough. Chris Cooley was hard to bring down. Like he was one of those dudes that you respect because he was tough. Like sometimes you get mad at Chris Cooley. He would get overly tough because he'll fumble. Like he'll try to get the extra yards and fumble. Chris Cooley to me is part of like if I look at a football player. Like he's the type of player that I like, and I don't care if he play here or wherever. Like he'll get the extra yard. He ain't going down. Like you gotta knock him out to get him out the game. Like B Mitch, same way. Like mentalities, like their mentality is very similar. Different because B Mitch is more fiery, but in terms of playing on the football field, like the same. I am about this. I'm trying to get this. You know what I'm saying? What did George say?
I wonder if Cooley is part of that like alumni who comes back and contributes. Like James Thrash is definitely one of those guys that he has a voice. He has a training camp.
So Cooley, when he was here for a while, he was doing the show with Kevin, and he moved back across the country. Yeah. So he moved to Wyoming or Utah, wherever he was. He moved back out there. So he's not as up with everybody else. I mean, I don't know if they've invited him back, but he just don't live in the area anymore.
Okay.
What did George?
Cooley was here with Gibbs. When Gibbs visited the other day, Cooley was here.
I don't think so. Oh, that's very good.
That's what Eric's saying.
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't see him.
That's a good look then. Like I said, based on what we're saying.
Yeah.
I want to ask y'all real quick though. I don't want to go off topic because I know we gotta get to defense, but what y'all think about Sam Hartman basically looking like he's going to the practice squad when there's been a lot of positive reviews coming out of training camp about him?
I mean, it's about right. I mean, I think he's better than Driscoll, but I mean, it's the game. It's the game. I mean, like
they definitely will keep 3 active. In my opinion, I think that's what the trend of the league is going. Especially how you saw last year how it was. I think they're definitely gonna be active with 3. And I think I think there's no question that Sam Hartman will make the roster. I mean, you remember how he got here? Like he chose to come here. He was undrafted, free agent. They gave him a signing bonus to be on this roster. So I think whether it's a practice squad position or the actual third quarterback, he's gonna be here. He's a part of the growth pattern with them. And most programs when they draft one quarterback, they draft another one. The same thing we did in 2012. You know what I mean? They had Kirk Cousins waiting for games for RG3. I think he'd definitely be here on the roster. And they're going to develop him as well.
He should be. If Jake Fromm can make an NFL roster, then Sam Hartman should be on the NFL roster because Sam Hartman definitely has a stronger arm.
And let me tell you, I've seen Sam Hartman in person. I went to Carolina Notre Dame game at Carolina, and that game went to like 4 OTs, and Sam Hartman and Sam Howell were going back and forth. And was carving. No defense didn't even show up. It was like 11 on nothing, carving them up.
Yeah, he got an arm. I saw him in camp, and like he made an awesome throw. He's got an arm. Like
he might be the next Kirk in Washington. Watch, gonna go somewhere and get paid. If he performs, let's say in an event that Jaden Daniels gets hurt or something, I can see that happening for him. I think he's that good for real, and he's experienced. Well, they usually don't like the older guys coming out of college, but he cool with Sam Hartman. He got to see him.
He's a backup. I like it. He's a backup. I'm cool with backups. You know what I'm saying? I have no issue with backup older dudes in the NFL. I'm like Gilbert Arenas on that realm. But for football, hey, Dee-Middy, how are you feeling about? I'll use Ray's question. How you feeling about Hartman?
Man, I like him coming out of like high school because he was on that quarterback 1, and he to me was a late bloomer. He's small in stature, and I feel like he's going to have to really, really impress in order to make the roster, bro. Because I feel like they brought in Driscoll to be what the old saying is like a clip pusher, but you know what I mean, a clipboard pusher. But I think, man, Driscoll and Mariota gonna be the guys behind Daniels push on the practice squad, might get picked up somewhere, man.
Paul is petty, bro.
What did Paul say? He said, Ray worried about Phoenix. All right.
Penix, why you always bring him? He stay bringing up Penix. You swear he don't.
I know, man. Michael, hey, man, it's all good, man. Here you go, George. Don't do that with Hartman because if Daniels gets hurt, then you got a quarterback controversy in DC.
You dang all right, George is coming, bro. Remember this show.
I don't think he's gonna have to worry that much. I mean, about Hartman, to be honest, like that thoroughly. I don't think so, but you never know. Like you never know. I know he don't got to worry about no Mariota, so he's safe. You don't got to worry about that.
Mariota's here to do some teaching and mentoring. We already know that.
Man, he ain't teaching me jack shit. I knew that much. All
right.
He ain't teaching me nothing.
Listen, you saw a guy like Sean Salisbury. He made a heck of an analyst. Heck of an analyst.
Who?
Sean Salisbury.
Oh, yeah, he can you talking about
quarterbacks.
I mean, after you
got
done,
the IQ, bro.
Look at the dude that's the all backup. Yeah, you're right. Backups are great at that because they see everything.
They just can't perform. I was just curious about the connection, like where he connected with this coaching staff. Like, is he? Yeah, like was he connected with maybe Tavita Pritchard or anybody else? Because I'm trying to
Pritchard. I think Pritchard.
That's a good question.
Pritchard.
So I was like, because they jumped on him really early, like to bring a veteran backup in, and I was curious because I didn't know where the connection was with him. Like, it's not like he was a backup in Arizona with Cliff Kingsbury. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like that. So I was just curious.
No, that's right. Eagles, Brian Johnson. Thanks, Paul. That's true. He was.
Yes.
That's right. I don't even know why you listen, Brian. You know what? I'm not gonna be mean. You know what? I'm just not gonna be mean. Like, I don't know why Brian Johnson is listened to about him in Philly. I don't really know why. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know why. Like it's come on, man. Brian Johnson. That's who you gonna try to get Washington against Mariota? Really? That's what we doing? Okay. Yeah. All right.
Teach how to do the tush push, man. You know what I'm
guess. I guess. I would rather have Cliff bring somebody in that he's taught rather than, you know what I'm saying? Like I'd rather have all that. I don't know
how much Brian Johnson is gonna impact the offense. You know what I mean? Like that might let you know how much input he have in developing what scheme we gonna be running this year. If he get to bring in his own backup guy,
that's true. That's true. Yeah, hopefully I'm glad his quarter. I'm glad that, you know, I hope Jaden doesn't get hurt so we don't have that type of test of him calling plays for Marcus Mariota. That I will say.
We about to find out. Preseason is coming right now, and it's going to be a good indication of what this team wants to do. Not a great indication because we know vanilla game plans exist in preseason. However, it's going to be fun to see how Mariota runs the offense. He's going to get a lot of clock, I believe.
I think the exact opposite. I don't think he's gonna play that much.
Oh, I think preseason?
I think Jaden gonna play more than him in preseason.
Really?
But no, I think Hartman and Driscoll gonna get most of those stats.
They're gonna get most.
Now, that might be right.
They're gonna get most of the reps, but I don't think. I think Mariota may get a drive or two, but I don't think he's gonna be playing a whole lot in the preseason. I think it's gonna be to see what Jeff Driscoll and Sam Hartman are gonna do. Jaden Daniels gonna get the first couple reps. Like this week, I think he might get 2 series. Seriously, I think he might get 2 series.
5 snaps. 5 snaps.
Yeah, depending on how that first series go, I think he might get 2 series, and after that, you might not. You ain't gonna see him too much after that.
I hope Jaden does get a bunch of. I hope he does get a bunch of snaps. I think that'd be good for him. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want to risk the prize possession though.
No.
Why is everybody so why is this age of football so soft? Why is everybody, the rookies are supposed to play? Like, what is happening? Like
because Aaron got hurt on the 4th play of the first game last year.
Who got hurt?
Because Aaron got hurt 4th play of the game or the first game last year. That's why you take the time.
Sometimes that happens.
I mean, it does, but I think because you want him for the whole season, so it's gonna be very vanilla stuff.
That man needs reps. I know. All I'm saying is Dan Marino, all your favorite quarterbacks growing up did play the preseason, and they played a lot of. They took a lot of snaps, and they were okay. Now everybody's so overly concerned. Oh my god. Like these are coaches. Oh my god, I don't want you to get hurt. You get hit. You're not supposed to get hit. Oh my god, I'm not ready. No, you playing football.
But see, to what you're saying, right? But to what Wallace saying, it's about getting that experience because experience is the best teacher, right? Yeah. And I think that's what it really boils down to. And I agree with that. But I have been conditioned to your prize possession getting small reps and your lower round pick rookies getting the bulk of the run to prove their worth. That's what I've been conditioned to for preseason.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, I just know rookies tend to like if your rookie looks good. So let me read this first. Rookies need to face live ammo. Players can get hurt anytime. Totally agree. The less they work in preseason, the more they are likely to get hurt. I believe that too. I agree with that too in terms of like muscle injuries, weak muscle tissue injuries. Excuse me. Preach well, like so I agree with that. I've been conditioned like that too, Dee-Middy. Like preseason, you do want the lower tier individuals to get a lot of burns so they can try to make the team, right? Like that's why I like most. I hate that they limited preseason games. I'm not gonna lie to you, I hate that. But also on the flip side, I've been conditioned. If your rookie quarterback, because we're talking about quarterback, if your rookie quarterback looks sweet in those first 2 series, then yeah, you pull him. I get that. Like, but he ain't looking good, which happens. Right, I don't need you to be pulled after 2 series like you a vet because you're not a vet. Like I want you to look good. Like you know what I'm saying. Like even last year when Sam had a couple of good reps, when he had a good series, I was like, yeah, you can't take him out. When a bad series, no, keep his ass back. Keep his ass in the game. He needs those reps. That's how I look at like that's football. That's me growing up watching football when it comes to young quarterbacks.
That's that gray hair speaking.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. That's exactly
only
what
the
it
Ravens
is.
still approach it like that. Only the Ravens still approach preseason in the manner
Ravens?
of what you're talking.
The
But at least
Ravens don't be getting scared. Like the Ravens play it out like
At least it's more like inter squad practices, or you got
now Ray just hit something on that one. Yeah, those inter squad practices.
Man, this ain't Carlisle, dude. What we doing here? This ain't Carlisle.
That's the gray hair again, D. Carlisle. That was just the Steelers. That was
it.
What
we're talking about.
Only
put
the
the ones
Steelers,
up,
bro.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't Carlisle.
There is no statistical data that proves either or, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like as a coach,
Yeah.
you have to know what's best for your squad and know the temperature of your squad. The same way that you see how the Giants and the Lions were just going at it all practice. I know, right? That sounds good until Malik Neighbors breaks his hand. You know what I'm saying? Because he's doing the most.
He's just
right?
stupid. He's just dumb. You don't punch a helmet. That's just.
I agree. You have to know the temperature of your roster, and you have to know when your guys are doing the most or when the rain guys in. That's the same thing with your players, right? If you feel confident that Jaden Daniels is going to be the guy and he's going to be fine, 2 series, because I've seen enough. You have to have enough to name him the unofficial #1 quarterback right now, because if not, he should have been listed 4th. Okay, if you want to get all these reps, he should have been listed 4th. Like I said, it's going to be a preseason battle between Jeff Driscoll and Sam Hartman to be at the bottom, to be at the back end of the quarterback roster. And Jaden can play all season and have a spectacular year, or he could suck. He could play none and still have a great year. CJ Stroud played in all 3 preseason games last year. Not a lot, but he played. You know what I'm saying?
Played all 3. Yep.
It just varies.
And I want to know how safe is Marcus Mariota, because I know the question was asked who he has ties to. Is he safe if Hartman flashes? Like, is
he's safe? He's safe. Yeah, he's safe. He's good.
I think he's safe.
He's
I think
safe.
they got to. I think that's the veteran. The same way we had. I mean, and granted, these are 2 totally separate coaching styles. But how we had Jacoby last year, I think with a young quarterback, 2 years or fewer, you want to have somebody that has gray hair, backing you up on the roster. Which since we talk about gray hair,
hey, I know. Let me read something Todd said, man. Just to be that guy to argue the point, why risk Jaden unnecessarily? Too much is invested with the QBs now. Play him with the ones and get against the ones, and don't risk him playing against future.
Come on, Taj. That's why EB not here no more. That's why EB not here no more. They couldn't take it, man. See that mentality, bro. Put him on the field, bro. He's a football player.
All I'm saying, like, when the football not become football?
That's what
bro. Like, look, there's certain dudes like, dude, I like to play basketball because I don't want to get hit. I like that. It's cool. I mean, you get hit different way. All right. I like playing basketball. Right. You play baseball. Like, there's a reason why you play certain. There's a reason why you box. Like, there's a reason why you do these sports, right? Because you know the game, right? You know what time it is. You know you can get a concussion. You know you can get hurt. You know this. Like, this.
It's the point. It's to the point of getting your body conditioned for the season. Is basically what you get into.
But
go ahead, DH, and you want to say something? I know you want to say something.
Preseason is not about the 45 guys at the front of your roster. It's about the guys on the back end. Since you got 90 guys, it's about to see if any of those guys can flash and any of those guys can contribute for you. We know the front half of the roster. We know they can play. We don't need to see Brian Robinson play. We know he can play. We don't need to see Austin Eckler play. We know he can play. Yeah, we're gonna see Jaden Daniels play a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, it's about the guys on the back half of the roster. See if they can contribute to the roster. And see if you might can find a diamond in the rough. That's it.
But to the point of this particular season, it's about those guys getting acclimated to this new offense, this new system as well.
Yeah.
I think you gotta find that balance.
So, that
Go ahead, D-Middy. You finish what you're saying. I'm sorry.
No. That's to y'all point. That's to you and Ray point about playing ball. Like, if you have a new playbook, you got OTAs and what have you, but do you really have enough time to against other teams, against other looks, to be able to understand what you're doing offensively and defensively? Like, you really don't have that much time.
I thought we was co-hosts. How you gonna be on their side, man?
So let me just say real quick.
It's the gray hair Lincoln. Your gray hair haven't kicked me.
I think it's gonna come down to how good this coaching staff is, because like in Baltimore plays preseason like we just talked about. They play it tough. They endure a lot of injuries, but they never miss a beat because they're so well coached. So if you can emulate that and you can have your coaching staff have second, third string prepared to get on the field and contribute, I think you'll be fine. But if you're thin behind those starters, then yeah, you might want to tread lightly. So like I said, I think it's a balance. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me talk about what Taj, this part of Taj says. What are you learning? What are we learning in preseason after 5 snaps? So this is my thing. This is what you do learn. So this is what I care about in preseason. I care about competition against somebody else. You get comfortable when you're going against your own team. You get real comfortable. You see tendencies. You know what I'm saying? When you play somebody else, you don't got tendencies. You can't go off their tendencies unless you're doing game, unless you're reading film or whatever. But you don't have that time. Now, this gives you the best opportunity in terms of being a competitor. Yeah, everything's vanilla. I'm not asking you to read defenses. I want to see you throw a pass in pressure when another dude ain't scared to hit you. I want to see how you react to that. I know you're the quarterback and people scared, but I want to see how you react to that. Because you got to be prepared for it. Now you're gonna be thrown into the regular season where now it's gonna be brand new to you. Ray mentioned the Ravens. I would like to see him play against the Ravens. You know why? Because the Ravens are gonna blitz you. And now I know how you gonna respond to a blitz. Because you're gonna get blitzed in the regular season. It's gonna happen, right? Let it happen in the preseason when things are a little bit more doctored. I'd rather see how you react to a blitz in preseason first and see how you're gonna respond to it in the regular season. But go ahead, DH.
Ideally, okay, so I know this is not where we were going, but this is your show. But ideally, how often do y'all how much do y'all want to see him play? Seriously, because I mean, I'll give how much do y'all want to see him play?
I want to see him in the first the first preseason game. I want to see him at least a series or 2. Second preseason game, I like to see a half. That's my thing. I always like to see a half. And the last one, I don't care you don't gotta play the last game. That's what I want. And I want to air it out too.
We arguing about probably what he's gonna play anyway, because that's how it goes pretty much.
No, man, I don't know. Hey, what he gonna do? He may not play. He may play a 2.
I feel like
barely. I don't know. I want to show.
The first preseason, the starters should play the first quarter, in my opinion. That if we talking about getting conditioned,
I mean, I would love it, but I don't think he gonna play first quarter. Though.
You see what I'm saying? That's what I look at it. That's how I look at it. If you talk about getting acclimated to the season, let the starters play the first quarter of the first game, and then they don't maybe have to play the second or third game. Then you can put the rest of the squadron out there for those second and third games.
Yeah, but what I would do is, before we go into we gotta go to defense eventually. But what I would do, so I would aim for 1 series. But if he look bad that 1 series, it's gonna be 2 series. I won't lie to you. And if it doesn't happen in 2 second series, then it is what it is. Then I'm just gonna wait for the second game. But I would do 1 series, and if he look great in 1 series, I'm pulling him. If he doesn't look great in that one, if it's 3 and out, he's seeing a second series. He's gonna see a second series. That's how I would do it.
To your point, Wole, remember what Lake said last season, training camp. He's like, dang, the quarterback don't have no time because Chase and Montez, they were always in the backfield.
Yeah,
either our offensive line sucks or our front 4 is really that good. And it turned out the offensive line wasn't very good. So preseason would have gave you probably a better chance, at least from my eyes, to evaluate that. But like you said, they're not playing everybody. You're not looking at it as, okay, we need to make sure our starters get reps. We're looking at it as who's going to make the team. Kind of backfired on them last season. Now the whole coaching staff is gone.
I just want this kid to be very prepared going into the season. Now, I mean, depending what your expectations are for this kid. If you just want him to kind of just learn on the fly in the regular season, then go ahead,
Paul.
Let him play.
Expectations are.
Then just let him play in the regular season. Then, and that's
Paul
it.
got that 10-7 record out there, 11-6. That's what Paul said.
Go, DH. Go ahead, bro. You want to say?
Remind you, 2015 preseason against the Detroit Lions. RG3 got a concussion playing late preseason when he shouldn't have. So I just want to put that out there just in case.
Oh, let me tell you about that. I remember. I know you. I'll let you. I'm like, hey, look. I know what you're talking about with that one, but let's see it. That was on some petty stuff though with that coach. So don't get it twisted. That's a little different. The temperature with that coach was like, you know what? This offensive line, I'm gonna let them blitz. And don't forget who he had at left tackle. He screwed RG3. Don't forget who he was having at left tackle, and he was running blitzes 24/7. That was a setup game. Yeah, Paul. That was my bad. That was definitely a setup game.
Hey, setup.
This ain't
or it happened.
Yeah. I'm just telling you this. They're not going to set Jaden up. That's all. This staff isn't going to set Jaden up.
I'm just saying.
Thank you. That's what it was. It was Willie Smith, the back, and he got cut not too long. He was a starting left tackle. Sorry, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
I just
All
want to
right.
remind.
Let's not do no 1067 stuff. We're not doing that.
Hey, DH, don't take that, DH. Don't take that, DH.
Man,
DH, you listen to 106 though.
I'm not gonna say nothing.
Hey, DH, you listen to the Junkies, man. Do I see
No.
you on that?
Hey, yo, hey, hold on. Let's go. Oh man, y'all had me cracking up, man. All right. Oh,
no, exactly.
Go ahead, yeah.
Thank you. Get him out of here. That's Bolay guy.
I ain't saying that.
Grant
These are the people tweet. I ain't saying. That's what's on the chat. I don't like to disrespect the chat. When they put stuff out there, I try to put it out
1067 the clan. That's the best. That was the best comment today so far.
Hey, Todd, they call me Saul, but I'm the coach. I'm preparing for the first game as a coach. Once I feel comfortable with my starters, I'm not wasting them for meaningless reps.
That's if you win it, Todd.
I know this is a losing team.
You could do that.
Losing teams are different. That's what I'm saying. I agree with that. Losing teams are different, bro. I'm sorry. If you're the Patriots, I agree. Not the Patriots, not this Patriots, the older Patriots. Sorry, the older Patriots, not these Patriots.
I just don't think it's any form, and it's no right or wrong answer. I just think it's just feeling how you feel, how they look, and that's how you adjust. And the good coaches know when to pull their guys. The good coaches know when to let them try to play through and work through some things, because that's, like you said, preseason is the only time to really work through some of those situational things. So I think it's about
true. All right, okay. So there's a defensive depth chart. We've been talking all about offense. There's a defensive depth chart as well. First off, let me pull up the defensive depth charts real quick.
I forgot we have to suit up 11 guys for defense, bro. We was just going so hard. I forgot all.
I know, bro. I know. All right, man. So I'm gonna start with you, Dee-Middy. Like, any surprises on the defense for you, man?
Man, who I want to see ball out, I want to see Jamin Davis ball out, bro. I feel like with what they're doing with putting him on the end and bringing in Bobby and Luvu, I feel like that's a chess move to have him better here than because he has it. He has it here. He has the physical attributes.
Yeah.
I feel like they're doing that to help him play faster. Okay. And if he flashes, this defense not necessarily forget the front on D-line. Excuse me. What I'm trying to say is he could be a piece to unlock that D-line. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Make a lot of sense. DH, what's your surprise, bro? I'm gonna get what Dee-Middy said later.
Yeah, I take it back to what Coach Pitt said earlier in the offseason, how it's going to be a 17-18 rotational defense. I think the defense is going to be a collective of guys just going to play a lot. I think you have a good rotation of fresh guys to play. But to echo partner sentiments with Jamin Davis, I think he has to really play this preseason, play well, especially if they're trying to move him to and try to get him in different positions. I think he's gonna have to have a preseason to remember. I also think for Darian Mathis, bro. I think he's gonna have to show something because he hasn't shown anything. He's been hurt. He's a holdover from the last group, and I think they might. I mean, if he doesn't play well, or if he doesn't, isn't active enough, I think, man, he'll be out with the bunch that's gonna be out of here. So I think those are two guys I really want to see kind of impact the game. I kind of really want to see how Emmanuel Forbes responds to his start spot. But I just think every opportunity they get on the field, Coach Witt said it's gonna be a rotation. We just got to make the plays, man. Whoever's in there just got to make the plays. And guys got to look ready. Guys got to look athletic, and guys got to perform. That's it.
Hey, Ray, for you, man, what's your surprise on this defensive step chart?
I'm looking at Derek Forrest, and that was my guy coming out of college. But I want to give a shout out to Yvonne Lambert. This is what he wrote on Yahoo. Check his article out. He said, Mike, Commander safety Derek Forrest be in danger of making the 53-man roster. The safety position has many applicants: Percy Butler, Jeremy Chin, Dominique Hampton, Ben Nickel, Tyler Owens, Jeremy Reeves, and Quan Martin. He was like, I don't want to sound rude, but a 4-13 team shouldn't have no guarantees. He's going to have to earn his spot. I thought that was interesting because I like it. I like what he brings to the table, but I think I agree with this because, as we just talked about, this team hasn't been successful in the past 2 seasons. So anybody left over from that roster should be playing for their spot. They should be playing to get on the field, including the most talented guys. Again, I like.
I don't think so. I don't think he'll be cut.
And he's intense. I would love to see him bring that intensity to the preseason. I don't care how many snaps he's out there. So for me on defense, I think he's really talented, but he's also the most intriguing because according to what people like Ivan are saying, he's not a lock to make the roster. So that's what I'm looking at.
Man,
well said, Ray. Well said, Ray.
I will say for me, my surprise is Forbes not being the starter. To me, I think he's. I mean, like I said, this is like early, so I don't really read into everything as thorough as everybody else does. But I just think Emmanuel Forbes, to me, has the potential to be good. I do. I believe in Emmanuel Forbes. I know a lot of the fan base kind of like quit on him after last year, but I just think that was a season of circumstances. I just think that he has a lot of ability. I think we're going to see him in preseason ball out to a point where he's going to be undeniable. You know, to be honest with you, because he's got that spirit to me that to compete. Yeah, he tried to compete, but got his ass handed to him by AJ Brown. But he was trying, but he's going to be in a situation where I think he's going to show folks that he can compete and he's going to play at a high level. But I was surprised. I want a lot of folks. I was surprised that he didn't. That he started off started off not starting for the Commanders over. I think was it I'm sorry, I can see it right here. I'm acting like Michael Davis. So, what you want to say?
Look at this. I mean, even if we're looking at what we have right here on the screen, it is 19 defensive backs. Right. This is of course preseason, right? But most teams in the regular season, you have 10 or 11, right? 8 guys. If we go with 11, that means 8 guys are going to get cut.
Yeah.
8 guys, right? Back to the default comment. I could see him being in that mix. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, I think he's a solid player. But I mean, you got to look at the guys they're going to get rid of. All right, let's look at everybody at the end. Okay, that's 4. I mean, literally, these spots are up for grabs. And like they said, man, we 4-13 last year. Yeah. Nobody has earned anything. I mean, of course, I think he's a youngster. You like to keep him there because, I mean, he has shown spurts that he could play well. He'll attack the football. But, I mean, it's going to be tough in that defensive backfield, man.
Yeah, another surprise. I was just surprised in terms of like the linebacker situation that I know that's his guy, but having Fowler starting outside, like I don't look at him as a linebacker. I think he's linebacker in a 3-4, but I don't look at him as a linebacker. I'm just interested to see what defensive sets they're going to really run. I know we're in a 4-3, so I'm trying to figure out.
I think they're going to run some hybrid type stuff. Like I think they're they're so versatile at the end position, and I think they're gonna run a lot of base nickel. Like I think they're gonna run a lot of maybe 4-5 situations or like something where there's always a 5th defensive back on the field. Or I think that they go, 5 down linemen at some point. Like I just really think they're gonna have some versatility with Fowler being a pass rusher. I think really those 2 spots is really gonna be Bobby Wagner and Louisville that's gonna be the field at all times. Yeah. And then that's be Jamin, it could be Dante Fowler, it could be an additional defensive back, like who knows.
Yeah, I think of the versatility alone because he's played linebacker and has had some stints of covering people out the backfield. Not to say he was the best at times, but he had some plays in Jamin that you have more versatility of him being in that position. Now he has the opportunity to rush the passer, and also if he has to, he's familiar in being in coverage because Fowler to me is just a pass rusher. But also I just know there's also. Dan Quinn loves this dude. He's been everywhere with Dan Quinn. So obviously there is that favoritism because you have a guy that you've had around you in Atlanta, Dallas. You brought him everywhere with you. So you have a liking towards Dante Fowler, but I just think that I looked at it, I was like, all right, Jamin should have that slot. But it's just things that happen in camp. I can't this is what Coach Quinn has kind of looked at and kind of gravitated toward. So I'm not going knocking and hate on it, but when I saw it initially, that's what it was. In terms of Defoe, I think Defoe's going to make the team. I ain't gonna lie, I do think he'll make the team. He ain't starting, but I think he's going to make the team. I think the guy that we need to talk about in terms of not making the team, I'm going to hold you, is Percy Butler because I saw a lot of bad out of Percy Butler last year. I know he runs 4.3, but he was always out of position. He was always getting beat deep. When he got the opportunities. So I look at him as a guy who ain't really gonna make the team.
I think what we'll see, not this year, but maybe next year, is the new kickoff rule, how that plays into who you keep for special teams purposes.
True.
Because I mean, normally guys at the back end of the roster were just special teamers, you know what I mean, with kick coverage and return coverage. I think now, as to how the kickoff game is going to change, that may depend upon who you keep. Maybe you do keep more linebackers because you need blockers. Maybe you're not keeping as many defensive backs because you don't need as many guys that can return. You saw how it was in the preseason game where it's just it's a 5-yard and guys just going to block. I mean, you might not even need the number I mentioned earlier may not even be the amount of D-backs you keep. You know what I mean? So I think maybe not this year. Well, we will see this year. I mean, it'll kind of show us who they're going to value as those special teamers. That's going to be guys that stay on the roster versus in years past.
I do want to talk about something Paul said to me. Well, Percy is their type of player, though. Yeah, build, but you still got to play. Like, the build's there. I agree with you, but he's got to be able to have ball skills. He don't have ball skills. He's fast. That's what he's fast, and he's fast and long, and he can hit. But in today's NFL, like, that's different. So you got to be able to have ball skills out there at safety. And I don't think, to me, he does. From what I've seen, he doesn't have that. Fast though, like, he's very fast. Todd said, I think Forbes has the potential to do well, but needs two things to happen: a consistent pass rush and zone and read style of coverage, even though that style doesn't fit St. Juice. I know St. Juice is starting. I don't think he's that great either at it. So hey, back to Martin. Oh, so let's talk about Quan Martin being a starting free safety. Something that Ron Rivera didn't do right. You know what I mean? Like, had him playing nickel. He's a free and in college he was a safety, and now this regime makes him a safety, and he's had a good camp from what I've heard. He's a guy I think is gonna break out. So I'm gonna start with you, DH. Your thoughts on Quan Martin being starting free safety for the Commanders in the unofficial depth chart?
Well, last year he showed he can play, and I think out of the bad spots on the defense, he was one that kind of stood out. He made plays, he was around the ball, he hits. I think he finished with 2 interceptions last year, if I'm mistaken. Yeah. So it showed he could play. I think, you look at what the defense they might be trying to run. He might fit well in that defense. I just think, man, this, on the back end with him and Chin, if that's what we're going to start with, I think you got two tough guys that can cover the field, that can run. And I think the whole defensive backfield as a whole will be much better, as far as they'll be much better coached. And I think they'll be able to finally make some plays that we've been dying for in the defensive backfield, man. But I think overall, Quan Martin has shown that he could play ball, and he may be one of the ones that, the previous regime got right. But I think Quan Martin has really rose to the top and showed that he could play ball, and he'll be ready to go this year.
What about you, Dee-Middy? Your thoughts on Quan Martin being a free safety, man?
I wasn't high on him. He was one of my surprise guys because I really wasn't big on him coming out of school. But he surprised me the way he played last year, as far as being around the ball, kind of piggybacking on what my boy said, like DH was saying. I feel like if his play continues to ascend in that way, as far as being he solidified that spot. I mean, he's done enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm happy for him because he was getting a lot of negative flack in preseason last year, and then when he got some opportunity, people were kind of hating on him, saying, "Oh, they drafted him here. He's not that good." And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, y'all use him in nickel, and he was vicious in Illinois as a safety. Like, you're using him wrong. Like, and now he get the opportunity with this coaching staff and a guy in Dan Quinn, who, if you look at his resume with the secondary, has done wonders with the secondary everywhere he's gone, right? Like, I just, in terms of creating turnovers and whatnot, I just think it's a perfect fit. I'm just happy for the kid. Like, you saw the potential towards the end of the year, like you all was saying, but now he's utilized in a position where he can play back there. He's got good ball skills. He's willing to hit. To me, he's a good mesh with Jeremy Chin. I think Defoe not being a starter is a credit to what Quan Martin is. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think a healthy Defoe. I honestly think Defoe with the staff could be good. I do think Defoe with the staff can be good, but it just shows how good Quan Martin is that he could take this slot. Because we know Jeremy Chin was good in Carolina. Now, he had an off year last year, the last couple of years, but he was good in Carolina. He was one of the better safeties in the league at a point. But you add him Chin with Martin, I think you have a nice safety tandem that you probably haven't had in a long time, to be honest with you. So, like, I like that. I'm happy for Quan Martin though, because you could tell in the beginning of his NFL career last year, some of that negative talk was getting to him, and he was losing some confidence. So now he's at a point now, new staff, new regime, and he's a starting free safety. Shout out to Quan Martin, man, for real. My man,
you want to address this real quick?
Perfect. Yeah,
you on the same page?
Yeah. Martin and Chin at safety sounds good. So do they keep Butler and Forrest? I think one of them's gone because I think Jeremy Reeves is safe.
Yeah, I think it's Percy.
So I don't think they're keeping. I think it's Percy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think Percy's gone. Because I do think Defoe's had success in the league, and Percy hasn't really had success yet. Defoe's had success, like it or not. He was hurt last year, but before that, I know he started the season off rocky, but the year before he was one of the better players on their defense. So I just think that in Percy Butler showed you flashes like the last game of the year against the Cowboys. I think that year, a couple of years ago, that was it. So
hey, I don't think you keep it 5 safeties as well because Sanders still can play corner and safety.
Yeah, so I don't think
you're not going to keep five safeties. Like that's not going to happen. I think.
Paul, go ahead. I'm with you, Paul. Don't do that because you remember the Eagles game where Defoe made the big plays. Y'all can't do that. Like Defoe was making big plays throughout that stint. Defoe was when he got in that starting line. Defoe was getting turnovers. We got to remember everything, man. I can name, but you can't really name a good Percy Butler game. I ain't gonna hold you. Other than the Cowboys, the last game of the year, that's the only game you probably can call out. Be honest with you.
Shout out to David Burns checking in. He said, Cedar Hill, Texas. Appreciate you, my brother.
Oh man, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, homie.
Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, brother. If you get
if you're right, why you sure? Yeah, he on Facebook though. You watching Facebook?
I know. I said when he get a chance.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you, right, man. Thank you. You're the real MVP, bro. You're the real MVP. Thank you for keeping me on my toes, bro.
He's to the Bears game.
That's last year. I know what I'm saying. That's last year. I know. I said that was last year. The year before last, Defoe was balling out. You can't deny it, bro. Percy Butler has never balled out. He has never balled out. Nobody could deny it.
I can't think of.
Thank you. Butler. Can you think of one for real? Other than that Cowboys, other than that last game of the year, a couple years ago, that's the only game that I could tell you that Percy Butler did anything. Not lying to anybody. Not making this up.
The last couple years have been a lot of unforgettable moments.
And I like, and I'm gonna keep the buck. I like Percy Butler's physical makeup. Like I was hoping that he was gonna be that dude. But when he got on the field, it's so far off. It's so
y'all remember? You remember Chris Sims was high on him coming out of school. Chris Sims was like he was one of the best, if not the best, safety in that draft class. Because I forgot how he explained it. He had me hyped. Just the Chris Sims scout report on Percy Butler.
See what I'm saying? Like I'm just saying, like when I don't know if he was tipped. Again, I don't want to blame him just like everybody else. You gotta look at who was coaching you. You know what I'm saying? But if you're gonna do that with Percy Butler, you got to do that with Defoe. Like you got to be fair. Like the same dudes were coaching both of them. One played better than the other. That's just a fact. I'm not making this up. And that's what I'm saying. Like if you're trying to tell me that look who was coaching him, I agree with you. But then you can't really knock Defoe then, because who was coaching Defoe? But he actually had some success.
Good question, Todd. Good question, bro.
To replenish the defensive backfield should let you know how they feel about who was here previously. We didn't have enough. The fact that they drafted multiple defensive backs, the fact that they went on free agency and picked up multiple defensive backs should let you know that they don't feel as confident as most fans do about the people that were here previously. So the guys that were here do have a chance, like everyone else does.
Yeah,
but it's a lot. Nothing's a lot, especially with the new regime.
No, I totally agree. Todd said, so looking at the numbers, they have a lot of D linemen, linebackers, corners, and safety. What position they keep in extra linebackers, corners, or D line? I'm gonna start with you. DH.
Oh, I'm sorry. I jumped the gun. Defensive
You
line.
No. I was gonna go with you good, bro.
Defensive line for 500, please. I believe they will keep multiple defensive linemen in rotation. That's my answer. That's my final answer.
Defensive lineman.
That's what.
Yeah,
Hey, what you think?
The pass rush is gonna be important. Somebody already mentioned that, so you might be right with that one.
Hey, what you think? Do you agree with Dee-Middy?
Hey man, that's my brother, but I'm gonna go linebacker, bro. I think they're gonna keep an extra linebacker to put him to have that guy in the nickel package. You feel what I'm saying? So I think it's gonna be linebacker.
Oh man, George said Chris Simpson crazy things.
Hey, Chris Sims, another one, Wole. He won the best player, but he makes a decent analyst. You know what I'm saying?
Does he really? Is he a decent analyst? Is he a decent analyst?
I said decent. I didn't say great. I didn't say good. I said decent.
I think he says all. I think he's like George says.
He's a nepotism hire though. Let's be real. We already know that.
Definitely.
Ray, have you ever had a decent steak? Like nobody wants that.
Oh man!
I'm just giving an example. Listen, I like Raising Cane's, bro. Not everybody does. Those are decent chicken tenders.
Coaches convos on record have said plenty of rotations on front seven. So
a decent steak, not on the cruise, bro.
Not the cruise. He said no.
I don't eat steak no more. But anyway, hey, I'm with my man Dee-Middy on the linebacker position, no doubt. I agree with that one.
I think I kind of with that the linebacker. I agree with that. All right, let's go to special teams because I'm kind of like because that's important to me for this. Like I actually think it's a very important.
Yeah, you got your boy Dax cut the day after you talked about him. They got that man cut.
I got him cut.
So your voice holds weight when it comes to special teams,
bro. I will say thank you, man. I appreciate. No, I never want a guy to lose their job, so let me take that away. I'm sure Dak is a nice guy. So he's a nice person. But in terms of playing for the Washington Commanders, and I hope he plays for somebody else, he needs to go.
He got picked up by the Raiders.
He needs to go. So, how would you say, DH?
Dax Milne got picked up by the Raiders.
He did. The Raiders
picked him up.
Good for him. Is he a kick returner?
And you know what? That's a good place for him. After Devontae Adams, after he dissed DC and he dissed the Commanders, I want to see what that looks like when they get together over there. Because you're gonna see bad when it comes to Raiders. Even though Antonio Pierce looked like he might be doing a good job, but
Pierce is good, man. But I don't know what he's doing picking up Dax, man. I don't know what he's doing with that one. But anyway, I'm gonna start with you, Dee-Middy, man, bro. Like, are you comfortable with special teams with the squad? Because I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not.
I'm not either, brother. I'm not either.
My man Paul said, hold on, I'm gonna get you. My man Paul said we have no kicker. So do you agree?
No kicker.
No
kicker.
That's where I was going with it. That took the word line out of my mouth, bro. And then you got to think about with this whole new the setup of the kickoff and everything, man. It's like, and who going to be returning punt? And I just feel like, yeah, man, this might be the bottom feeder of this roster is the special teams, man. And you need all three phases to come together for wins.
Yeah, I need Casimir Allen to make this team the kickoff return. I need him to be punt returner. You know, no knock on Crowder. Crowder ain't horrible. Crowder does some good things, but
hey, is Crowder getting cut?
No, I think he's making the team. I think Crowder makes the team. He's had a good camp too. He's actually had a good camp. I ain't gonna hold you. He looked good when I was there. Crowder looked real good when I was there.
Don't go with the short stuff, man.
What happened?
Everybody looks good in shorts. We already know that.
Oh, man. I know. I agree with that. I'm just saying in terms of all that, like he's all right. I agree with you, though, Ray. I agree with you, dog. But he's a vet, so I give him the benefit of the doubt because he's a vet. If vets play, rookies, I need to see how you play on Sundays. Crowder, I've seen Crowder play on Sundays. He's consistent. Like James and Crowder's consistent.
He can play.
Yeah.
I'll give him that.
All right. So what about you, Dee-Middy? What is your thoughts on this special teams unit?
It's my turn. Dee-Middy went already. Hey, look.
I'm sorry, DH. My bad.
It's okay.
My bad.
Everybody think we twins, bro.
Hey.
The D&D podcast.
I was called a white person the other day. It is what it is. But go ahead, though, man. and I'm dark. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is. What it is. Go ahead, dog.
Like I don't even know how to pivot from that. Hey, man, I think the kicking game is going along with the trend that's been a consistent problem here. I think tried to address it in the offseason, but of course, what is done in the about 30,000 feet in the air will come to light. So quick. But I think the kicking game has been an issue that we've had for the past couple years with kickers. I don't think Sly was that bad for them to move on from him. Personally, I mean, look, I mean,
he's I have a love-hate relationship with Sly. I'm like you. At times I like him, and then sometimes I hate him.
But I think because they felt confident with signing old boy from the Jaguars until he had his situation.
Yeah,
that's
McManus. Brandon McManus. Yeah.
So then you have the situation that you're in where it's kicker by committee, and the kicking game is going to be super, not just field goals, not just extra points, but the way the kickoff is going to be, man. If you don't have a guy that can put it where you want to put it, it's going to be tough. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw maybe Tress do some kicking duties in this kickoff situation. I don't know.
Kickoff.
I mean,
kickoff.
Yeah. I think at this point everything is up for grabs because I don't think you have a definite answer. You got to figure out one. You got to find out one quick. But yeah, the kicking game for me is always going to be in question until they find a guy that can do it. Until they get Mark Mosley, it's going to be in question, right? But I think also the return game is where it comes into play. That going to count to your numbers. How many guys you going to keep? How many guys you going to let go? Whoever you keep to return kicks and punts, they better be a key part of this offense too, because the long gone are the days of just specialty return guys. I feel like those guys, not that you're loaded though. I feel like those guys have to be guys that contribute, on downs 1 through 3, not just on 4. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have guys that can play. And I like Jahan being as a backup punt returner in this situation. I think you might. Yeah, I think you might get a look like how you used to put Santana in special situations.
Yeah, I like that.
Get some of that. Maybe a guy that can actually field the punt and actually run it for a few yards. Not just fair catch it. So I'm curious to see how this return situation works on special teams.
And do something with it. I agree. I like that about John. That's what Jahan. That's why I would like Casimir Allen to make the team. Just somebody who can do something special with the football. You've seen it. To me, that does translate. If you're a good kickoff returner in college, you're pretty much going to be a good kickoff returner in the NFL. That's one thing that translates because there's something about being a playmaker with the ball in your hand. You know what I mean? That kind of it translates to NFL. Ray
Jermaine Lewis.
Yeah, Jermaine Lewis. Desmond Howard.
He went to that trash high school. That's my man, though.
What time out? What trash high school? Excuse me. No, sorry. Yeah. Anyway, I lost track. Thank you. When you said trash high school, you kind of called me off guard. Ray, your opinion about the special team unit of the Commanders. You're not a Commanders fan, so I like your honesty because you got like a real honest opinion about certain things.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? This is the Ron effect in my eyes. Once you brought on Blewett and you had that kicking carousel where, he hit the butt of a kicker. I mean, he hit like an offensive lineman when he tried to attempt to kick. I think that people are really concerned. And as a result, anxiety is high because you're not sure if this offense is going to finish drives. You got a rookie quarterback, and you're going to want to get as many points as you can on the board. So I'm with everybody else saying we need a kicker. I think that's where DA's preseason will be critical. You'll get a good idea.
Yeah, I agree.
If you're going to need to bring in some kicking personnel to compete or to bring in somebody who maybe is a veteran, was more proven. The McManus situation was unfortunate. They may have jumped the gun. Maybe, you kind of suspend them indefinitely or something. But regardless, that's going to be concerning. But we won't know for real, I think, until you get a good indication of what the offense is going to look like. And that comes down to Cliff Kingsbury. We know that he has a tendency to where he can lead some explosive teams. But once other squads figure him out, they get taped, then he's got to make adjustments. And that's going to be where special teams could come into play. So I'm with everybody else. Paul said it best. Is no kicker. Is no question about that. And that is a concern. It has to be a concern. But Dan Quinn don't seem too concerned about it. He seems more, I think, focused on wanting to make sure you got a good punt returner back there to get field position and get your offense in the best position to succeed. It's going to be fun to watch. I'm hoping the defense is able to create turnovers, which will also bring some short fields for the offense. So it's going to be interesting to see where special teams actually fits in. Preseason will give us a good indication, but week one, especially week one, and it's all phases of the ball. I've been joking on the other show that if they defer week one, the Commanders defer, and that opposing team marches down the field and scores like last year, it's going to be a concern because then you're like, oh boy, we're going to be in shootouts. But if your defense is as good as Dan Quinn has improved, like Atlanta, he improved Dallas, then I think special teams may not be as important for real as a whole. You know what I'm saying?
Ray mentioned the preseason. Let's get into the preseason game anyway. We did a lot. We did enough of the depth chart situation. So the first game of the preseason is for the Commanders is against the New York Jets. Commanders coach Dan Quinn said Jaden Daniels will play. We had this like whole series about everything, but we already talked about it in terms of what series you want to see and this, that, and the other. So I'll put this out there. What do you want to see out of this preseason game for the team as a whole? I'm gonna start with you, Dee-Middy. I'm gonna start with you.
Man, I'm gonna be honest, man. I just want to see cohesion. I just want to see cohesion from the coaches, just like Joe Witt Jr. said when Sam Fortier asked him that question about what he expects from him. I want to see the coaches we know it's gonna be vanilla. Let's just be realistic. If you know ball, you know how the NFL works. It's gonna be vanilla, but I don't want to see pre-snap penalties. I don't want to see no post-snap penalties. If they look clean that way, and from the first string to the fifth string in the first, I know this coaching staff is doing their job. So I want to see nice clean formations. I want to see Chris route running. I just want to see them guys go out there and look well coached.
What about you, DH? What do you want to see?
I want to see two things. I just want to see some attitude. I want to see some guys hungry to make a difference this year. I want to see some guys that look like you want to make the roster, even if you feel like you got a spot. I feel like I want some guys that want to have that dog. You see how they show it at practice, how it's amped up and it's exciting. It's a new attitude. I want that to translate onto the field for this first preseason game. I want guys to be able to really, prove that they belong on this squad and really want to make a difference. And then the second thing I want to see, everybody come out of there with all the limbs they went in with and healthy. I want everybody to be able to walk out of this game healthy. And what I don't want to happen. I don't want this front office to start having to make decisions based upon injury, based upon guys not being here, unavailable. So I want to see some attitude from the guys, and I want to see guys be healthy and come out of this game just ready for the next of the preseason.
Hey Ray, what do you want to see from the squad in the first preseason game?
I agree with everybody's assessment. I'm going to say I'm looking forward more to what happens afterwards. I think Adam Peters is different. I think he's what this organization needed, and it's going to be interesting to see the moves he's make. We kind of all talked about who's going to make the team. Percy Butler, this person, Defoe. It's going to be interesting to see who remains on this roster after that first game and who makes that opening day roster. So I'm looking forward to seeing what difference he makes as the preseason progresses, because like I said, this is a different regime. Dax Milne is a prime example of that. He's gone. Nobody thought he should be there last year, let alone being on special teams. Adam Peters made that move. It's another indication that this organization has moved forward, and it's going to be fun to watch. Jaden Daniels, I want to see him run for a first down, though, and slide, and safely slide. If he can slide, not the Paul Blart Mall Cop slide. I'm talking about actually getting down and making sure he keeps himself out of harm's way, because he is the franchise. He's Willie Beeman. You need this dude, man.
Damn.
We already know it.
I can't. That comparison's crazy. All right, George said I want to see some evidence that this offensive line will not make Jaden Daniels a pinata. Eric said Jaden Daniels first TD and hopefully a decent defense.
Not decent. DA said not decent. Who wants a decent steak, yo? Why we just got to see decency? It's the measure.
So this is actually the defense. This is what I want to see. I want to see defense with attitude, man. That's all I can look. I want them to play fast. I want them to smack people. That's what I want. I always reference like Greg Williams. That's why I knew Washington was going to have a good defense, because in preseason the attitude off the rip was different. Like we saw the year prior, that defense was horrible before Greg came here. It was horrible. All of a sudden, they had a whole different mentality in the preseason. It was blitz. It was we gonna knock your heads off. It was crisp tackling. It was a whole different vibe that I've never seen a Washington defense have before he came here in a long time. That's what I want to see with Dan Quinn and Joe Witt. I want to see them in preseason be physical. I want them to be the more physical team. Even with Coach Rivera, Coach Del Rio, like I was hoping to see that, but I never really saw it. I wanted to. You were hearing in camp, but in preseason, it would be, oh, you passive. Oh, like the running back goes up the hole is kind of big. Like, why is it so big? Like, no, I want to see you smack somebody. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't trying to say be illegally hit somebody. I want to see you smack the out of somebody. That's all I want. And I feel like if I could see that on this defense in preseason, forget all that training camp talk, forget all that other crap talk. I want to see you go out there and hurt somebody. That's all I care, man. I mean, I hurt, but you know what I mean? Like, do work. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want. If you can do that on the defense, then I know, all right, this team is ready to take it to the next level. If I see Bobby Wagner, if I see Lulu, like all these dudes go out there and like tackle and enforce pain, it'd be good.
Remember last year after the first preseason game, we got a comment from somebody, and they was like, they can't stop the Marlboro Mustangs. You don't want that comment coming with this new regime, this new coaching staff. You want this defense to play mean. I agree. You want to have that edge to them. I was like,
yeah, through the flag, man. I was like,
I saw it.
Improper conduct. Something, dog. Hey, it's like a coach. Hey, you know what? Something look funny, right? You watch me like, hey, it's got to be a flag or something, dog. Something. Hey, I want you to fill up the hole.
DH, you still got your season tickets?
Excuse me.
You still got your season tickets?
No, I gave up my tickets this year.
That's a good indication.
But look though, I'll be back.
DH hung in there through some tough times, man. He was contemplating that for a minute. I don't even know if I'm going next week, man.
And I went back. Like, what is wrong with me?
I know. Watch they go be good now. You gonna be mad, like, dang.
Hey, man. But you know what? It's all about. I'll still be at a bunch of games this year. Just won't be at every home game, but I'll still be at a few.
So, all right, outside of Jaden Daniels, who would you all like this? Like, who are you all excited to see play on Saturday? Ray, I'll start with you, bro.
I don't know if the defensive starters are playing. I don't know what that's going to look like, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know who I should say. Like, John Allen's who I'm looking most forward to see. My bad.
You don't gotta worry about him, no. You don't gotta worry about him.
No. I'm just saying because when John Allen is really good, like he's like top 5 defensive tackles. I think 2018 he had 8 sacks. 2021 he had 9 sacks. And last year he didn't play so well. It was one year he had only 2 sacks, and he came back a beast the following season. I think that was 2020. So from what we've heard, shout out to Candy Waller. He's looking like one of the most motivated veterans on the team. He's leading by example. He ain't saying a whole lot, but to what you guys said, looking like he's ready to inflict pain on his opponents, not on his teammate on the sideline, but he's looking to be a leader. And I'm looking forward to seeing that. Real talk. I'm a John Allen fan. I feel like he's been tired and frustrated with the losing. Sometimes he lets that get the best of him. He doesn't bring it like he could. So with this new start, and he said it himself, like this coaching staff is a different feel. Hoping he comes in and sets a tone on the defense side of the ball.
My man Paul said Bryce Tremaine, the wide receiver the tall wide receiver. He just like him because you like him because of his height, don't you?
Yeah, he like possession receivers. You're right.
He like height. He's sick of the Smurfs. I don't even know dudes like that. I'm not gonna hold you, Paul. But yeah, we'll see though. He made a couple
caught the bombs in Dallas, bro. Relax, man.
Yeah, exactly. Tanner was short and Tanner did the damn thing. Come on, man. Stop being discriminating on height, man. You know what I'm saying? It's messed up. Hey, what about you, DH?
Hey, man. As you can see over my left shoulder or whatever shoulder, that Tar Heel. Why is the camera not moving right?
Oh, I looked at the Wheaties. Like, who is down? Who you got? Michael Phelps behind you, man.
You see that right there?
Yeah, Tar
Heel. I want De'Ami Brown to play. I need to see him play. Look, I'm gonna say this, man. Okay, like my man been catching a lot of slack, a lot of heat.
Yeah.
You know, and on Twitter and all this stuff. And I've been quiet. I keep quiet because people know I'm a Tar Heel fan, and I've been supporting De'Ami Brown, since Chapel Hill. Seen him up close, know him personally. You know what I'm saying? So I support my guys. I really want him to really prove what he can do, man. I want every opportunity he gets a chance to catch the ball, I want him to catch it and try to take it to the house, because that's what he can do. He has the ability to do so. And I think people saw it in that Seattle game last year, where that was a deep, bro. That was like a 20-yard in.
Yeah, took that thing.
Climbed the ladder, caught the ball with two hands, snatched it out the air, and took it to the crib in a crucial spot of the game.
Facts.
Right? And then other times he'll follow up and miss an easy catch, right?
Yeah.
We want to catch every pass that he is thrown to. And I think at this point in his career with the team, he can't afford any missteps. He can't afford any drops. He can't afford any bad routes. He can't afford any miscommunications, because at some point, your game just going to have to speak for itself, or you will be in another city, right? So I just think that every time he gets on the field, he should have reckless abandon out there and play the game the right way it's supposed to be played, and not sideways like my partner Dee-Middy.
I know about to say the same thing. Front, back, side to side.
My bad.
Cool. I was just in Houston, man. I was listening all day. Go ahead.
But no, man, like, but
DH, what you say, DH? You cut off a little bit.
I said all that to say that De'Ami Brown is who I need to see, man. All 3 preseason games, I need him to go beyond the shadow of a doubt and say, look, Luke McCaffrey, I'm not gonna let you come in here and just, be the guy, the third guy known on this roster. I'm gonna come in here and get my reps. I'm gonna play ball, and I'm gonna prove, because like you said, Ray, we were talking, at the beginning of the show. You said you saw a receiver and you watch a receiver, and Amon St. Brown mentions everybody that was picked before him, and he
never stops.
And I'm like, bro, you got paid. It don't matter now. You got paid. Like, what's the point? But De'Ami Brown was one of those receivers that were mentioned before him, and I need for him to that he should be one of those guys that should have been selected. So every time he gets on the field, play, get the ball, and show to your teammates, the fans, and the rest of the league why you were drafted, where you were drafted, and you do deserve to be here in this league.
Well, what about like strong point? That's a guy that I root for too. Dee-Middy, who's yours, man? Who's a player that you want to see non-Jaden Daniels? But real quick, let me read off Nick Kearns on Twitter. Nick said, if Brandon Coleman plays, it's got to be him. For me, can he be the guy at left tackle? I hope so. Yeah, that Brandon Coleman is a good one. My man George came out and said Jazon Newton about to make one of the highly paid D tackles expendable. We'll see about that. I like him a lot, though. I think he's gonna be like that, though. It's gonna be rotation, bro. Todd, Coleman, D-Middy. What about you, bro? Who's a player? Who's a player for you, non-Jaden Daniels?
They hit it on the head. That's exactly who I was thinking, man.
Coleman,
because I mean, in the whole O-line, to be perfectly honest, I just want to see who's going to show up and show out, because the prize possession, man. We know who that is, man. We need the trenches, man. I always harp on the trenches. When I watch football, my eyes go directly to the trenches whenever I watch the game. So I just want to see this O-line really, what Allegretti bringing. I mean, of course, it's going to be short, a sample size. I want to see what he bringing. I want to see, what the backup tackle is going to be bringing. And it's really about, protecting that prize possession. But to be perfectly honest, man, DH kind of stole a piece of my gun, because I was going to hit on De'Ami too, because I am tired of the flag on Twitter, because I stay in the Twitter spaces listening to our fan base, and I want to see De'Ami prevail just because of the flag he getting.
The hate, right?
The hate. So much hate from my boy, dog. I'm sorry, D-Middy, I'm sorry, but I had to say this, and because we get platforms to talk, I had to say this, bro. I don't understand why. Like, it's like him, and it was worse than Dax, but it's like he catches so much flack. Like the most flack anybody that was previously here. Like, he catches the most flack, and so much so that I had to start pulling stats. And I'm like, he didn't even get enough targets to kind of take an impact. Right. And then, like, you would think, right? Like, a lot of times with football, right? Things stick out in our head, right? Like, those drops stick out. You know how many drops he had last year?
Like what, 2?
2.
I know. It wasn't a lot.
But you would think that it's so many. You would think that he had 20. You know what I'm saying? But when you're like think the targets. I think he wanted. I want to say he had 30 targets last year. And he had 2 drops, so it makes it stand out. So and it's just like, I mean, come on, guys, like we got to stay off of him. Like, cut slash working, man. He's trying, and then of course everybody knows more than everybody that's working with the team, bro. Everybody knows that he's just. I'm like, dog, look, if you were that good, they would be paying you to get people on the squad, bro. Like, dog,
that's
like,
a good point though. Like, Paul, I mean, it's a fact though. Jahan had more drops. And I like both. So let me talk about Diami, because he's actually one of my favorite players on the squad in terms of I just like his skill set. Diami ain't get to play with, like, he's not Terry, still Terry, because Terry has made quarterbacks look good, right? He's not Terry. But Diami has played with quarterbacks who aren't good. So it's hard to really assess what Diami is as a football player, as a wide receiver. I've said this in the past. I think if Diami plays with Patrick Mahomes, he's a whole different dude because of his skill set. He's a whole different dude. Like, everybody would know who Diami Brown is. Seriously, because if you watch people, everybody's on social media. They chop up tape. They do this and the other. Diami, which is a hard skill to do on a go route. Diami's open a lot. He is open a lot. Look at all the plays. They'll go deep. Diami's got his dude beat. It's either overthrown. Most of the time, it's overthrown or whatnot, or underthrown. Not a good pass. But a lot of times, Diami Brown has folks beat, which is the hardest thing to do in the league, is to get open consistently on like routes like that. Diami does that. So all I'm saying is, like, I'm like you. I'm excited. I want to see Diami ball out, because I think that Diami has so much potential in this Kingsbury offense that he can do some special things. And if Jaden Daniels is the guy, Diami can make Diami look good, because there's not a lot of corners out there that can see Diami one-on-one. This is a fact. I'm not making this up. I'm not even gassing this up. This is a fact. He did North Carolina was amazing. For real, it was amazing. So I'm just saying, like, yeah, also Coach Scott agreed.
How many?
Hey, D-Middy, you breaking up, D-Middy.
That point was good.
I'm sure it's a good point, but you're breaking up. Bro, hold on.
Let me tell you, that 2022 game against the Titans should have told you.
You saw it, the one that showed you, bro. Like, the play the play that you mentioned should told you. Pressure. Sam Howell steps up in the pocket. Seattle, game on the line. He goes up, and it wasn't the perfect pass. He goes up and gets it, then turns up and gives you supposed to be the winning touchdown, a tying touchdown. I can't remember, but that was supposed to be the play.
He's great, bro.
He doesn't get the reps for us to say he's this, he's that. Like, that's why I was so insulted, not to be mean, but that's how I felt so insulted when automatically we already assumed that Luke McCaffrey was better than him. Because Diami, and this is no knock on McCaffrey, Diami in college, we're talking about a multiple 1,000-yard receiver. You know what I'm saying? One of the better receivers in college football, comes to Washington, yes, has to play with so-so quarterback play, and doesn't pan out, that doesn't show out. But again, if you don't, Randy Moss was in the Raiders and nobody knew him because Kerry Collins wasn't playing quarterback well. He goes to New England, plays with Tom Brady, shatters records again. All I'm saying is quarterbacks make a difference when it comes to wide receivers. It's a thing. It is a thing.
He's so athletic. I mean, really, like, watching him play basketball is crazy. The dude could jump out the gym. He's 50. Like, the dude can play, man. So I'm like, I want the people to slow down on him, because I really think in a good situation he could be a dynamic piece for this offense to be used. And I just think you saw glimpses of it. You like to see it more consistently, but you will want to have that versus not having it. You know what I'm saying? And I think if you can find a way to get him the ball the way he can get the ball, I think it can be a really good piece to this offense going forward.
No, I agree. He's just not, like, I didn't like how the last staff used him. They had him Gunner and special teams. I'm like, he's not a special teams player. He's a real receiver. Yeah, I mean, Sammy was the beast. I mean, that's my guy. But Sam was.
I like the comp.
Yeah, I think Sammy was more physical than Diami. That I will say. Sammy was more physical. But yeah, I like the comp though. I do like the comp. So for me, the player I wanted, because everybody's kind of I know I went off on a Diami tantrum, but the player I want to see is Jamin Davis, because the guy, I just think that to a point, yeah, he needs to show folks his growth at playing as rushing the passer, what he learned with Ryan Kerrigan, and also just show his skill set and his speed. I just think that he should just go out there and play fast and be unleashed. You know what I'm saying? I'm really excited to see what he's learned. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. I'm excited to see what he's learned, because he's a guy that I still talk about. Like you talk about a guy who gets hate. He gets hate, and I feel like every year, which I liked about Jamin, is that he got better every year. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't being coached by the greatest people in the world. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say he wasn't being coached by the greatest, but he got better every year. So now he's in a situation where he has to learn a new skill set, and still he gets to play linebacker as well. He'd be outside linebacker, and he gets to learn from watching people like Bobby Wagner. Watching Bobby Wagner, you to learn from Bobby Wagner. So I'm excited for Jamin Davis. I want to see him play. I think that with his skill set, his ability, like my man Dee-Middy said earlier, he has it here. Like he has the physicality. Like he has it. He was blessed with athleticism. So I would like to see him to go out there and just play football and play fast. Not to overthink. It's almost to what Marty Schottenheimer did for LeVar Arrington. It was like, yo, stop overthinking. Just go play football. You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of want to see that. I think I can see that with Jamin going in. So Dee-Middy, I don't know. I got to you because I know you're breaking up. So what about you, my man? Non-Jaden Daniels. Like what are some of?
I mean, most.
What'd you say? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, most definitely, man. No. You get it, brother. It's just for me. It's just it's really about the O line. It's really about that O line really doing their thing. And Coleman is the one who stands out most definitely. Coleman is the guy I want to see ball out. But at the same time, too, I mean, Braden Daniels has been getting a lot of flack too from the actual media too. There, like I heard Nikki Giovanni say something like, it almost sounded like that man don't even need to be in the NFL the way she had. Bro, I forget what she brought down, but I just remember how it left me, and I feel like guys like that they need a shot. Maybe it's the coach.
On the team.
It's the situation.
Wait, he's still on the team. I didn't know he's still on the team.
Yeah. So I mean him, and I think to be honest, Chris Paul too. Like Chris Paul need to show something, man. Like
who does?
They like that O line really need to step up, brother.
Yeah, I think Wiley needs to step up, but I don't need to see him though. I don't care to see him. I'm players I care to see. I don't care about seeing Wiley.
Not at all.
Yeah, it's players I care about seeing. I want to see him. I don't care for him. I know my man Nick Kearns on Twitter on X said Ben Sinnott. He wants to see Sinnott. I want to see Sinnott too. But I saw him drop. I saw him drop a few passes at camp, and then kind of matched up what people were talking about. Like, yeah, he's dropped some. He's got the drop seeds in him. So, but yeah, I want to see my man Cole Turner, man. I like Cole. I want to see my man Cole Turner. I root for Cole.
Hey, as long as Cole,
I was lit.
Go ahead, D-Middy, go.
My fault. I was literally about to ask Wally about that. Like I seen you did a 1-on-1 with him, bro, and being out there at camp. Like how? Like is he a guy that can he?
I don't know. I think that they already have their. He would have to be the fourth tight end, because I know they like Bates. I don't like. I don't like Bates. I don't care. I don't care for Bates. I feel like you already got blockers. You have Ertz.
Bates is decent.
You got Ertz and you got Sinnott. They both can block. So I don't really care for another individual like to me who can't block. I mean, who can block? Because to me, Bates, his hands aren't awesome enough, and he's slow as hell. I don't care. He's slow. Like it's like a regular. It's like a tight end I can find. You know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like he's just a tight end I can find. I feel like I can find the Bates. Like I can find the Bates. Not to be like real disrespectful, but I can find the Bates. Like I don't think I can find something like Cole Turner has. was successful in college as a pass catcher, and I felt like when he got the opportunity, when Ron gave him the opportunity, he played well, but then he didn't get the opportunity anymore. So, I mean, I don't care. I mean, for real, like it's the NFL. I worry about scoring, man. Jordan Reed can block, man. What am I worried about? Jordan Reed can block to save his life, and he put up numbers. That's all I care. That's what I care about. He's gonna put up numbers. I think Cole Turner give him an opportunity. He puts up numbers. I think if he goes somewhere else, and they give him an opportunity, he's gonna put up numbers because he has that ability. Like what I liked about him is that he was so short-handed. Like that kid didn't drop anything was thrown to him. I was like, okay, like, and he caught in traffic. He was like, he ran good route. He got open. Like to me, in the NFL, if you're a pass catcher, get open, catch the ball, you winning with me, bro. You winning with me. So my man Riley needs to step out. Which Riley you talking about? Who you talking about, Riley? I'm trying. Paul, who's Riley? I'm trying to think.
Is he saying Wiley? Is he saying Wiley?
Oh, Wiley. I think he said Wiley. Maybe Wiley. Drops early are okay. Probably thinking too much initially. Drinking from firehouse learning responsibility can lead to drops.
Firehouse.
Hey, yo, what the hell, bro?
That's a specific visual. Drinking.
I know. It is take a long time to develop in the NFL compared to other positions. I agree. It does. But not like. But Bates is who he is, man. Bates is who he is. But hey, this has been a long show. This has been good though. This has been a really dope show. Hey, before we end this show, hey, Dee-Middy, DH, man, how can folks check out Breaking Command, and also how can they check you out on social media?
Hey, well, of course, guys, we appreciate you guys for always having us on. You can always check us both out on X at DH on the mic and Dee-Middy on X D_Middy. You can go to youtube.com/Breaking Command Pod and subscribe to the D&D Football Podcast. We got a new episode coming up this Friday. It'll be Felix Tram will be on this week talking about camp. Actually, I film that tomorrow, so that'll be a good time. That should be up Friday. But of course, man, just link up on the page, man. We got so much getting ready to drop, getting back in the mix. Of course, previous episodes already had Mike Kello from ESPN 630 on, and a couple update episodes with D-Middy and myself, man. So just link up, lock in, and ready for a good football season with Breaking Command, a D&D Football Podcast.
Yeah, my man.
For sure, man. Hey, look, man, I'm gonna give my flowers real quick, man. I appreciate you, Wally, man. Always reaching out, brother Ray, man. We chatted up a couple times, man. I love, being able to, have a sit down like this and talk to people who actually know what they're talking about and like to have fun doing it at the same time, man. So I wanted to say I appreciate y'all first and foremost. But at the same time, man, you know what it is, man. D_Middy. You can find me on X. And also, man, all my social media, man. But the D&D Football Podcast, man, we cranking it up. My man DH got a lot cooking, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. That my brother from another mother, stay locked in, man. Stay locked in.
Well, man, we always appreciate having y'all on, man. Y'all dope, man. Like I said, man. Y'all keep doing it, man. Y'all do good work, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all show's dope. I'm glad it's back on and popping. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have y'all back on. Shoot, man, I may reach out to y'all about like a post game joint after the preseason game.
It's a lot. I know, Wally, we've been talking too about trying to do something on the live tip in person. Yeah. So we still gonna do that, man, because I feel like with these voices that we have, we should step off these screens, man. People need to touch us, pause, but like they need to see us in person, and we need to get something popping. So for everybody in it, listen, man, something is coming real soon.
Yeah.
Live link.
We don't link up on a live joint. We won't link up on a live joint at a venue near you, man. You already know what time it is. All right, y'all, man. Y'all take it easy, man. Appreciate y'all too, man.
Hey,
all right.
Show.
All right, man. Yeah, man. Great show, man.
Appreciate everybody on X, Facebook, people checking it all over. YouTube numbers, they got to come up, but it's all good, Social media is a little bit bigger at times, and I'm cool with it. YouTube is a good source, though. You know what I'm saying, for the urban sports scene. Check out just all of our coverage of boxing, basketball, HBCUs, whatever, go to our page, man. Check us out. If you're on YouTube, man, we appreciate you. I covered boxing last weekend at the Entertainment Sports Arena. Frankie Scarborough, Trey Pound, Fuller, a lot of up and coming fighters in the DMV. If you into boxing, I suggest you go follow them dudes on social media, especially on Instagram. They're active. They interact with the fans, and both of them got belts right now. Obviously, it's not WBC or WBA, but still, these guys on the come up for sure. My man Paul. Hey, Paul, I appreciate you. You know, you can't go without mentioning my man Penix. Penix gonna get playing time coming up too, so you get a chance to check him out.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to see him, bro. We're gonna get to see him.
Yeah, this week, baby. I think the Falcons play Friday. Yeah, they play Friday.
Yeah, y'all got it right. Yeah, y'all.
They play Friday.
Yeah, man.
For sure.
Ray, holla at me after the Falcons game.
When they play the Commanders, for sure. That's always a fun discussion.
I ain't messing with you.
Last year,
you didn't. I don't think
I couldn't because I was
in Atlanta. I was in Atlanta.
It's here this year. The game here. I was at that game. I still jumped on the post game afterwards. And
I did do the game. I did the post game last year because I was in Atlanta. I did it in Atlanta.
You were in Atlanta, yeah. You had the hotel room in the background.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you did a pregame. I don't know if you did a postgame.
I did definitely did a pregame. Okay. You're right. I definitely did a pregame.
Yeah, I'll holler at you, Paul. No doubt. It's all love, baby. I'm not even worried about the Falcons this season. You were a little more optimistic about the Commanders than I am about the Falcons because I guess our expectations are a little bit different. You know, people talking about decent around here, like Dee-Middy said. Not Dee-Middy, like DH said. We not doing decent. So, but decent is good for the Commanders.
Hey man, hey, we're gonna close the show out. Before we close this show out, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. Also follow us on X at Urban Sports Scene, IG at Urban Sports Scene, and like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. And if you're on YouTube right now and you have not subscribed to the Urban Sports Scene YouTube channel, hit that red subscribe button, man. We're trying to get to 800. So hit that red subscribe button, get us out there, man. We getting there, man. We getting there. Like Ray said, Ray did some great content with boxing, helped spike the numbers a little bit more. So we rising. So make sure if you're on YouTube now, you're watching and you enjoyed the vibes. You know what I'm saying? You like how we talk. We like how we conversate with everybody. Come on, man. Hit that red subscribe button. Also, you can check us out at our Urban Sports Scene website, which is www.urbansportscene.com. We're also on Empire Media, and that website is www.empire.com. Has a bunch of our content there as well. So anyway, man, we appreciate all of you all for tuning in to the Urban Sports Scene. Appreciate Dee-Middy for being guests for us to talk about the Commanders' first preseason game against the Jets and also their unofficial depth chart. Anyway, appreciate all of y'all on your chat too as well.
Dope audience tonight. Hey,
dope audience, man.
Everybody. It's too many to shout out, but
it's too many,
DJ,
man.
Paul, what's my Cam was on here. Taj, Uncle Mike pulled up. There's so many people came through. Deluxe, we appreciate you. Where my man in Texas at? If I can find him, because he checked in from all the way.
He all over in Texas.
Yeah, man, he checked in.
I'm just like, I got him. Oh, no, that's you. Actually, I don't got him. Nah,
I'm looking, bro. Like I said, it's kind of hard to find him, but
yeah, man, I can't find. I ain't gonna hold you. It's too much work. Well, maybe somebody said a new comment. Is it him right here? No, I ain't. My man, I appreciate you, Dujanay, man. Appreciate you, man.
Dujanay. I'm always watching Dujanay too. That's my guy right there. I can't even find it, bro. My bad.
I want to say now you got me real.
I can't remember his name though. That's the problem.
Now I'm being impressed. Now I'm being impressed.
Pulling up, man.
I'm being impressed because I'm trying to find it. And
you just came from Texas. Maybe that's what it was.
I did. It was a Facebook joint too, because it's Facebook. I know it's Facebook. You know what?
Yeah, brother. I'm looking.
You still Ray, like we were just looking at you.
It's all good.
It's all good, man. Hey, man, appreciate you.
I can't find it. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, I can't find it. It's all good, man. Appreciate him anyway, man. He was the real MVP coming all the way out from Texas. All right, man. Appreciate y'all, man. 206, man. That's cool.
David Burns, founder. David
Burns. Thank you, David, man. Appreciate
you, brother. If you still watching, if you watching on the replay, we appreciate you too.
All right, man. Definitely. Anyway, man. You've been listening to the Urban Sports Scene for ages. You dig? Deuces. We are out.
Peace.